the very first Red Dead podcast, where we sit in bars and just talk about shit. All right. So,
Alright,
you said you had a good topic.
Yeah, I think the first topic I want to talk about is actually part of Red Dead, the campaign. Spoilers for anyone that hasn't completed it and not want to watch the video. But if you have already beaten the game and everything, you will notice that everyone in the campaign, all the characters, talk about Blackwater, the big heist in Blackwater, all the money left behind in Blackwater. I want to know why Rockstar would add all that about Micah, Dutch, Arthur, everyone talking about the heist and all the money in Blackwater, and not let us play it or give us like a cutscene or something showing what happened, what went down, and the two people, I think it was like one or two people that died in Blackwater.
Yeah, it's like we
fled up north.
that was another thing about that. It's pretty much started. The game started right after that happened, and it showed basically a bunch of characters mourning the deaths of people we don't know at the time, which it's really weird. I feel like they could have done something there, but they didn't.
But see, that brings up the topic again that I was thinking about. If they added all of that and not even gave us like something of what went down in there, I myself have tried a lot to figure out what could have happened. I've done a lot of research to see what could have happened. I couldn't find nothing myself, but the only logical thing that I could think of myself is that will be maybe
TLC or something
to the next Red Dead Redemption
3. Maybe. And then after that, like you play as like Davey, and then like at the end you play as Arthur.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
I don't see how that could. I don't see how that would work continuity wise.
Well, I'm thinking you're gonna be playing as someone different. And next thing you know, you're going to be doing this big old heist. It's going to be in Blackwater. Everyone's prepared. And next thing you know, stuff starts going down. Micah just comes up missing. Like, one or two people get killed. You see all that. And
like, I say one thing. I do know one thing about it. It was a fairy job that Micah put into Dutch's head that basically went wrong, and Dutch shot a girl, and everything caught up with them, and they had to run and go to the snow and whatever. That's all I know about that, is that it was a fairy job that Micah put into Dutch's head that went wrong.
The one thing I still don't understand to this day, if you remember, Arthur was brought into the game when he was at the age of 18. And he was how old? I think it was like in his late 30s, early 40s.
He's been in the gang for 20 years. I know that.
Okay. So he's in his late 30s, early 40s when you play as him. So he's been in the gang for 20 plus years, I'd say.
It was actually said that he was around 20 years.
All the time that Arthur was trying to tell Dutch all the things to do, and especially Hosea, I don't see why Dutch wouldn't listen to him, but he'll listen to Micah when he's been in the game for about a year.
See, I feel like it could be because Micah's like, Dutch thinks that he can control Micah easier. I don't know. I've seen a few theories on it, but I've never seen. I don't know why he would listen to Micah.
See, if Dutch would have listened to Hosea at the beginning of the game and not gone for O'Driscoll and Cornwall's training, well, O'Driscoll was going for the train, Cornwall's train, but we killed O'Driscoll, got the stuff, did all that, robbed the train from Cornwall. If Hosea, or if Dutch would have listened to Hosea, and we would have never did that and just laid low, we would have been completely fine. Never had to worry about O'Driscoll, never worry about Cornwall.
Well, you would have to worry about the O'Driscolls. But the Pinkerton thing is, okay, the Pinkertons were being funded by, the Pinkertons were funded by Cornwall.
By Cornwall.
So if basically if they didn't do that, then it would have basically.
Hosea would have never died by the Pinkertons.
Oh my God,
If-
Hosea, Lenny as well, but Hosea,
John too.
John didn't die.
John did that.
No.
The redhead, the Irish.
Oh, Sean. I thought you said John.
No,
That's a different
John.
thing, though. I think that's slightly different.
Well, Sean didn't die by the Pinkertons, but it was also
Well, actually,
by,
no. No. Yeah, I see what you. Like they were okay. If Dutch never messed with Cornwall, the Pinkertons wouldn't be after them. If the Pinkertons weren't after them, they wouldn't have had to move their camp to the area where the Braithwaites are. If they didn't move their camp to where the Braithwaites and the Greys were, they wouldn't have tried to get into all that. And if they wouldn't have gotten into all that, Sean wouldn't have gotten killed. So I do see what you mean there, actually. That actually is a good
If
point.
they never messed. Okay, they've had a lot of problems. What we've heard with the old Driscolls a long time ago. But if they would have just never did that, if they would have never killed the old Driscolls at first, it wouldn't have caused the problems with the O'Driscolls then after. And then
That's
never
actually
robbed
another
them
thing to
for
think about.
Cornwall.
If you think about it, if Dutch never stole the O'Driscoll score there, and the O'Driscolls went to rob the train,
The
how-
Pinkertons would be after the O'Driscolls.
that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that.
But then when we think about it, we never knew Cornwall was so good in contact with the Pinkertons.
Okay, here's a
But
okay.
if, like I was saying, if Dutch would have just listened to Hosea, we would have seen the Pinkertons go for O'Driscolls. But nope, Dutch wanted to do his own thing, get some money, you know.
Another part of the story. Another part of the story we need to talk about. The Saint Denis bank heist, bank job. How do you think the Pinkertons found? How do you think the Pinkertons found out?
I know exactly how the Pinkertons found out. It was from Dutch's woman. What's her name?
No, that Molly, but no, it's not.
Molly.
'Cause they
It was from
said-
Molly.
No, because
Because later in the game,
Milton
Molly
said that
admitted when
they.
she was drunk.
No, but Milton said that they actually didn't. The Molly didn't tell her anything. Didn't tell her anything, and they had to let her go. And it wasn't Micah, because they said that they didn't pick up Micah until they got back from the Guarma.
They got Micah after we left on the boat.
No, they got Micah. Like once everyone got back and you get back from Guarma, that's when they got Micah. So and Molly didn't say anything. Milton said that Molly didn't say anything and they had to let her go. So how do you think? I have my suspicions, but how do you think that the Saint Denis
I
bank
really do
heist was?
think. I really do want to say it's Molly, and they just basically lied because you can't trust the Pinkertons.
Okay,
Especially what they said.
what I think would happen is just the gang got sloppy. Like Milton and all the Pinkertons knew they were in Saint Denis, and they obviously kind of knew that they were gonna rob the bank because it's like a big bank. Like I just think that they got caught because they got Dutch and them got sloppy.
Alright.
That's my theory on
This
that.
brings up the topic with the O'Driscolls then. Remember, can't remember when, but Dutch was gonna meet up with Colm O'Driscoll. Remember that? And Arthur
Yeah.
was gonna be a lookout. How do you explain that? How did they know it was gonna be a setup and Arthur got taken?
The thing is, okay, no, they didn't know it was a setup. From what I know, Arthur
Nope,
was
but
there.
Hosea knew. Hosea knew.
Okay,
knew
yeah, he
'cause I
knew.
remember. He knew
Okay.
it was going to be a setup, and that Colm O'Driscoll was not going to be there. And what happens when Arthur turns around? Boom, gets hit right in the nose with a buttstock of a gun.
Personally, what I think, because Arthur kind of sided with Hosea there, I think Arthur should have taken the shot when he had the chance. He should have shot O'Driscoll when he had the shot. You
But
know?
no, I just love how Arthur's the only one that got taken out, and Dutch and I think it was what's his big
Micah.
No, Micah was there too. It was Dutch, Micah, and what's that big fat dude's name?
He wasn't there. Pearson, he wasn't there.
I know
It
there was
was
3 people down there.
it might have been
I just want to know
Charles.
how the fuck they came out just perfectly fine. But, you know, all of a sudden, Arthur's the only one that got taken, and no one noticed until the day he got out.
I feel like that's just this has nothing to do with the story or anything. I just feel like that's just an oversight they didn't think about. I'm looking up that mission right now so I can.
But, okay, you say it's not an oversight, but
I think
for
it is an
Hosea
oversight.
to know, but for Hosea to exactly know it was going to be a setup, they knew. They added that part to where Hosea says it's going to be a setup, and next thing you know, you get hit in the head with a fucking gun and get captured. They added that for a reason. I just want to know, like, how do I say it? I can't say someone snitched because someone can't.
I
Snitch
just feel like it's just
setup.
it's just poor foresight.
But it's still a big part in the game.
No, I looked it up. Yeah, it is just Dutch and Micah. No, I don't know. I just think it's foresight. I don't think they expected you to think too much into that.
Well, I'm gonna give my honest opinion real quick. I really think Micah has something to do with the O'Driscolls. Because
Maybe.
let's see, when Micah got arrested, it was near Valentine, near where basically all the O'Driscolls are, and that's.
But he got arrested for fighting in O'Driscoll, though.
Yes.
But
But if you
like
think
Lenny
about it,
was there.
when Arthur got captured by O'Driscolls, it was just a little bit down from Valentine. All of that area is O'Driscolls.
Fucking. Yeah. I don't know. It's.
And if Micah and Dutch was the only one down there, and it was only you and Hosea is the only other one that knew that there was going to be a meetup, I swear to God, I think Micah has something to do with O'Driscoll.
I feel like if that was the kid. Oh.
Oh, this is
Wow.
amazing. Just parlay.
Yeah. It took away my option to parlay when I tried to do it.
I didn't even get an option for it. But let's continue on this subject. I really do think that Micah has something to do with O'Driscoll.
I don't know. I feel like if that was the case,
Michael was only in the game for 1 fucking year, how do you think that's any trust? Because if he's easy that if he's that easy to rat us out and snitch up and go with the Pinkertons, I think he could do the same with the fucking O'Driscolls.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that would be because I feel like if that was the case, it would probably would have been a trap for Dutch. So I feel like Dutch would have gotten killed or injured, but he didn't. So I don't feel like that could be the case.
No, because Michael was gonna be like a little sucker bitch to Dutch. He wasn't gonna try to let Dutch get hurt because Dutch is a main person. Just like if he was with O'Driscoll's, he wouldn't want home to happen to him or anything. But if you remember, Michael wasn't there when Colm got hanged.
Again, I feel like that's just
nobody
because
told Micah because it was only Sadie and Dutch.
okay, no, that I feel like because Micah would just fuck everything up because that was like something you have to be like you were supposed to be stealthy for, and Micah is not stealthy. I don't know. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think it's just an oversight.
I honestly think Micah's part of O'Driscoll. There's no reason there'd be any way for all of them to find out.
I don't know. I'm trying to sit down. Well, I don't know. I just think it's an oversight. Now here's another question: the ending. What did you think of the ending? Motherfucker!
Here we go again.
I parlayed this time, and this is why they need to add private lobbies. So,
Alright. Back to the same time. The ending. Question is, ending with good honor or bad?
let's just say I got the high honor ending first, but let's go with the ending that you got first, and we'll just go both.
Alright.
What
I
ending
completed
did you-
the game. I completed the game twice. Yeah, I know it kind of sounds like I don't have a life.
I've completed the game
Me,
4
myself, and
times. I've gotten all 4 endings. By the way, meet me
myself, and I
meet me at
wanted to see
meet me
what
at the
the
camp
games
outside
were did.
Valentine. The gang camp. Wait, are you not in the? Oh, hold on, you're not in my posse, so you can't see it.
No, come to the other here. Come
No,
to
because
the other
if we
bar.
can go, if we go to the gang to the camp, then no one can attack us.
No, just come to the other bar in Valentine. There's 2 bars.
Alright, if it happens again,
go to-
though, let's go to the camp. Anyway,
Okay. But
So-
I completed the game twice just to see both endings with good and bad on it. The first time I beat the game, I just was barely having enough good on it. So I myself chose to go with John. I think that was the best thing to do, and it felt like it was right.
okay, another thing, I just want to say this as well. The high honor ending for going for the money. There's actually something that changes the dialogue a little bit in the end. Like when you're playing as John, you're about to kill Micah and all that. There, if you played honorably and you went for the money, you actually get you actually stab Micah in the eye, and that actually comes over in the epilogue. It's an interesting fact. I can't sit here.
Well, I'm on the topic with honor, or honor. I'm on the topic with Arthur first. The true
Yeah.
ending to Arthur's, because when you start the game, you're Arthur. When you end Arthur's thing, it's gonna be with Arthur. I'm not talking about the complete ending. I'm talking about Arthur's ending. I think the honor system has a lot, like a lot, to do with the game. If you have good honor, you'll notice things in the game. But when you do the game again with bad honor, you'll notice all the complete different things than what you did before.
Yeah.
So when I completed the game on good honor, it was going in between with bad and good. But when I finished it with Arthur on good honor, I stayed John, because I honestly think to myself, what John was saying, like he sees him as a brother, and what Arthur was saying, go home, take care of your family, be a man and shit like that. I had the most respect for all that. So I think that's when John finally got his shit together.
Oh.
And just
Okay.
really, really standing up, Arthur standing up to his last fight, fighting Michael, doing stuff like that. And the most devastating thing ever was not seeing Dutch do the right thing and just fucking kill Michael right then and there. That killed me the most. But seeing Arthur crawling to that rock, taking his last breath, seeing that sunset, I'm telling you right now, that would make a grown man
Another
cry.
thing to think about, there was a bit of dialogue in the game where Arthur said, if I'm dying, like point me to the sun and I'll remember and I'll think about all the memories we shared. So it's kind of symbolic thing, I think is the right word.
Hate to be a spoiler, I don't know if you know about this yet, but you can actually go to Arthur's grave, and it's
Yeah, I
painted right
know.
where the sunset comes
There's
up.
a okay. There's an area in chapter 2, like the chapter 2 camp.
Yeah.
If you go over to that area as John, there's actually an area where like you'll hear Arthur's voice in like the echoey sort of flashback like thing, and that'll depend. And what you hear will depend on your honor.
I'm not
Another
gonna lie,
thing, what?
when Red Dead first came out, everyone, I mean, I swear to God, you can ask any Red Dead fan, player, just anyone.
They were not excited about not playing as John.
Yes, they were not excited as playing John, but when they found out John was still in the game, they were happy. But no one was expecting, like,
Arthur to
for
be
you to
better.
play. Yeah, no one was expecting Arthur to be better, but no one was expecting that you got to play as John at the very end.
A
Finish the
funny
game
thing,
and
okay, a
everything.
funny thing is that I've seen a bunch of jokes about this, where it's like, at the end of Red Dead 1, like people were saying like, let us play as John again, and then at the end of Red Dead 2, people were just like, fuck John, we want to play as Arthur. You know?
I honestly, I was happy, um, that I was able to play as John at the end of the game. I really was, because you got to see where he got his shit together, started his family, started his entire place, his house, everything. I found that so amazing. That I think the reason why they did that was for you to cheer up and stop pouting over Arthur.
Okay, another thing to say about that, they could have, I feel like they should have given a little bit of time before just jumping you straight into John. Giving you some time to process what just happened with Arthur.
Yeah, I see where you come with that. I think maybe if they added some cutscenes, like maybe
Like flashbacks or
what's
something.
that next what's that not Mexican. What's that Indian dude's name? I forgot.
Eagle flies.
No, not Eagle Fly. He was part of he was in the game.
Rain Falls.
No, no,
You're talking about the chief, right? Oh,
no,
Charles.
no, no. Charles, yeah, Charles. Charles and Sadie and John. You know, all of them are together at the very end when you kill Michael. I wish there was a cutscene before that where they came together and like there was a little memorial where Arthur did something like that. You saw like their little cutscenes of moving on. You saw Sadie's cutscene where she became bounty hunter. Charles thing where he did his thing. Then you started to move on to John. You started playing as John. You know.
I don't know. I feel like that would have kind of spoiled some of it if for the first time you're playing, because you also have to think about it. We didn't know if Charles made it out. Sadie, we know, made it out, but we didn't know what she did. So I feel like it was better to just not like do anything with that until they were shown.
Yeah. Another thing, there was two other people. Actually, three. I forgot their names. You have the black lady, the black, not to be racist.
Tilly.
You have the, yeah. You have her. You have that doctor. I forgot his name.
Doctor. You mean Reverend?
No, it's not Reverend, but that's another one I was gonna say. Reverend. You got her, Reverend, and that doctor, that weird doctor. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, is he in the gang? I'm trying to think of who you're talking about. Our parlay is ended, so be ready.
But I really think you got to see where they were going to. And all.
Here's another thing. Have you, as John, have you gone and found all the gang members afterwards to see what they were up to at the end of the game, after the end of the Arthur story?
What do you mean?
Like you can find like Mary Beth and Tilly and all of them.
Oh no, I didn't try to go find them. I know you can, which I've seen in a couple of YouTube videos and all that. I've seen that you can, and I thought that's pretty amazing how you can.
I've only found Pearson, Mary Beth, and Tilly.
But honestly, this is off topic. But when Red Dead Redemption first came out, you played as John, and these government people came and told you, "Hey, you need to go kill your old gang member."
Oh, here's another thing. What did you think about the gang member? About how the gang members that you killed in the first game, like how did you think they were portrayed?
They were
Javier,
like,
Bill, Javier, and Dutch.
Like they were talking. Like when you went and go kill them, they were like John was talking to Bill, John was talking to Javier, John was talking to Dutch. Like they all knew each other, but you had no clue who the fuck they were.
What I'm saying is,
they were old gang members.
I'm saying is, was it interesting to see how they were before the gang went to shit?
Well, back to the topic what I was saying, which will lead to the topic we're talking about now. I find it really amazing how they made that game in, I forgot what year, but it was 8 years ago that they made that game. And they added all that. They added a game where you start out as this dude, government people come, take your family, tell you that you need to kill these old gang members. You have no clue what's going on. But it's a great game, you love it, and you continue with it. And you get emotionally attached to it, and it just kills you when you find John dead, and then your wife slowly dies, and you commit suicide. But what I find really amazing about it, they planned this out a long time ago to come up with a part 2. They came up with you playing as Arthur and all that before Red Dead Redemption came out. because they added, like, they created
They
all
like they
the,
had the idea of Arthur in mind, like while
yeah,
making
and
Red.
that was 8 years ago, maybe more years ago before they even thought about
It's a
it. So
nice
I find it
tie-in.
really amazing how they made Red Dead Redemption, you play as him, and 8 years later, you play as this guy named Arthur Morgan, and you have no clue what's going on. So you're just like, alright, cool. And,
Oh,
yep.
great. Okay, meet at the camp. I'm pretty sure we're getting to a point where we're probably gonna wrap this up soon.
But back to what I was saying, I find it really amazing how they have to plan this. What to me, what it feels like, they have to plan this, like, what it feels like little decades, 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Like, they planned all this a decade ago. Like, they already knew that they had to make, like, they knew they had to make Red Dead Redemption 2, but they gotta make Red Dead Redemption 1. Because if you play Red Dead Redemption and play Red Dead Redemption, or actually if you play Red Dead Redemption 2, beat it, then play Red Dead Redemption, it falls in the storyline. But they came with
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption first, just to show John's story and all that, and blah blah blah. But I find it amazing how they have to. Man, it feels like I'm repeating myself, but honestly, I don't think I could do something like that. What they do,
It is
where
amazing.
where they that, or they just created a game and then like boom, and then they start creating Red Dead 2 and like, well, we got to add on to the first Red Dead, and make it fall into the storyline. But honestly think they created Red Dead Redemption 2 first before they created Red Dead Redemption.
I
Before
don't
the
know
story
about that. I
happened.
feel like they made Red Dead Redemption 1 and had the idea of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Arthur Morgan and all that in mind already. I feel like that's what they did.
I think
Uh,
they I think they started working on Red Dead Redemption 2 to go ahead and get a story base going. Then they put everything aside and they started working on Red Dead Redemption, did and put everything to Red Dead Redemption, released the game, and they're like, alright, boom. Start out as John Marston. You kill these guys because the government took your family. Ending, boom, you're dead. But now we finish up on our last thing and start to do the, I guess you could say, continuance to Red Dead Redemption. Because I know for a
yeah.
fact if you play Red Dead Redemption 2, beat it everything, and go back to Red Dead Redemption, and start from there, it'll all fall into place. Play Red Dead Redemption 2. 11 years later, Red Dead Redemption. Boom. That's what I say.
Uh,
I think it's amazing how they can just think of stuff like that. 8+ years, 8 or more years to do all that. And they had some people thinking for a long time. Something I don't think I should do. But hey, I gotta give all props out to them for making an amazing game. I'm not talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm
this
talking
guy's
about
trying to
normal
shoot
Red
me in
Dead.
my camp while the white flag is up.
But man, I gotta give props out to Rockstar for creating something like that and having it continue on, but from 11 years before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because I honestly think, oh my god, I honestly thought when Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out, I thought it was going to continue with John's son, something like that. I didn't know it was going to be
I mean, there's no. I don't
Red.
think there was any real way they could go forward because Red Dead One and the ending of Red Dead One takes place at the end of the Wild West era.
Yeah. But I find it really annoying how they did it. I know I'm just going on about it, but if you really go in depth with it and think about it hard, they did an amazing job.
Yeah, they did. All right, let's end it with this one, okay? What did you dress John? How did you dress up Arthur, and then how did you dress up John?
What do you mean, like how I
Like, how did you
see
like
them?
what?
How I judge
Like,
them?
no, like out like
Oh,
clothing.
outfits, normal outfits. I thought you meant like how did you address them? Like what did you think about them? Like stuff like that. Honestly, I just kept John with his normal clothes. You know, he wears black, has slick black hair, kept it like his normal haircut in the first Red Dead. John, I kept his hairstyle the same. I kept him not clean shaved, but got a little bit of hair on his face, like from the beginning. But with
Yeah.
Arthur, I I can't remember how I dressed him. But I did have him to where he looked like he normally did.
So
Uh,
basically, you
I
kept
got
him in
some,
like his starting outfit.
yeah, basically his starting outfit. You know, normal boots, spurs, pants. I did put some chaps on him. For when cold weather, I got a real nice jacket on him, nice shirt, vest, or and I think it's called bandana. Yeah, that's what it is. And just the normal.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna end this first podcast. It was a nice one, pretty interesting. Maybe we'll do another one if this all works out.
Oh, we'll definitely do another one.
Yeah.
There's so many topics to talk about in this world.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we can talk about. It doesn't even have to be Red Dead related. There's we
I just wanted to talk about Red Dead from like,
yeah.
because this podcast started from me just thinking about that ferry job that went down in Barkley,
Yeah.
and it's led to us talking about clothing and all that. But that was just the one topic I wanted to talk about. Hell, for all we know, we could be talking about in the next podcast about
Yeah. Well,
fucking
that's gonna
kids.
be the end for this one. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.